قرية ريفية كأي حد عادي ينشأ في الجو الريفي.
دي من النقط الجميلة قوي عند محمود. يعني تخيل في ناس لو سألت حد مصري ساكن في قرية زي محمود قريبة من
Hello there, good morning, Merry Christmas, and a warm welcome to ABC in the morning. I am Eric Chunibwa-Melo, sitting in for your regular host, Abinel Manti, and I'm thrilled to also be starting another exciting day during this festive season. How is your holiday season going? So whether you're sipping your morning coffee or just starting your day, you have to take in a deep breath, relax, and get ready for a show packed with everything you need to know. So we will be coming up to have an array of engaging segments, including our front story, as you know, the latest in sports also coming up, then the coolest update from the world of tech, and vibrant conversations in Ghana Speaks also will be coming up shortly. So we also will dive into business fix. How is business faring for you this festive season? The trends shaping the economy, followed by some interesting conversation that still have been happening during this festive season that will be focused on our main discussion for today. Then we dive deep into the issues that matter most. So don't miss our Politics Today also segment. When we open the phone lines, you have to call in and let's know what you think about it. So we will wrap things up with some fun during our happy hour. Stay with us and let's make this morning a memorable. I am Eric Chunibwa-Melo. Front Story is up next. You're welcome once again to the program, and as I said, Front Story is up next. So this festive season, quite some worrying issue has been happening in the Western region. We're focusing on celebrating Christmas amidst cholera outbreak in the Western region, and the Christmas season is here, and as part of the celebration is merrymaking. The Western region, unfortunately, is facing a troubling cholera outbreak that has recorded over 1,000 cases in recent weeks. Now, health authorities have taken measures to curb the spread of the disease by calling for a ban on the sale of vegetables, among others. But this has raised concerns among local vendors and some residents because, of course, this festive season, a lot of people would have to go to the markets to do some purchase, do some stocks and all of that. But here's the case where in the Western region, because of cholera outbreak, there have been a ban on that, and that you see on the screen is a press release. So there was a similar situation in 2014 where the health officials advised against mass gathering to curb the spread of the disease. Now this led to the suspension of some public events and a shift towards more intimate family celebrations. I don't know how the Western region is celebrating or has been celebrating this festive season. So far, I don't believe that there have been enough activity that has gone on over there. Even Tadi Fest, Kofi Kinata's event, I'm not so sure it's even happening because communities have adapted by emphasizing hygienic practice and churches also incorporating health education into their sermons, stressing the importance of hand washing and safe food preparations. Families also have been encouraged to ensure that meals are prepared and consumed in sanitary condition, with a focus on drinking potable water and eating hot food. And the outbreak also prompted communal efforts to improve sanitation. Local groups organized cleanup campaigns to also get rid of the environment of filth, recognizing the link between poor sanitation and cholera transmission. Now, this year alone, the outbreak is back again, and for some reason, it's been very large spread in the Western region. The experience underscores the importance of integrating public health education and awareness into cultural practice and ensuring that celebrations could continue safely, even amidst the health crisis and Christmas celebrations. So the festive season is usually, as we know, a time for celebration and communal gathering. But how are the Westerners, especially my people or our people in the Western region, celebrating this festive season, knowing very well that this crisis in the Western region is alarming? And a lot of people have said that this is causing a lot of dissatisfaction in the community, especially whether trying to buy food from a food vendor because you are not so sure what you are taking into your body. Others are also of the view that, well, these have fabricated things. The health professionals are just trying to scare, especially with the market vendors. Some of them, when you engage them, if they tell you that there's nothing like that happening, they want to go on and sell their food items. But here's a case where authorities, especially health practitioners, officials, have said that this is an alarming situation, and we would want to also engage our Western regional correspondent. We're trying to engage him to find out how the situation is faring in the Western region, as you see. But before that, let me just read you on your screens the release that the Ghana Health Service brought out, making awareness about the situation in the Western region. So it says Ghana, since October 2024, has been responding to an outbreak of cholera in the Greater Accra region. 4 other regions, namely Central Region, Western and Ashanti, subsequently reported confirmed cases. Currently, there are no active cases in the Eastern region, with most of the affected districts in the other regions reporting no confirmed cases in the past week. As of 23rd December 2024, a total of 4,155 suspected cases with 35 deaths has been reported, with majority of deaths occurring within 24 hours of admission. The most affected region is the Western region, which has 17 deaths. Quite some, I mean, that should tell you that the Western region, day in, day out, is recording an alarming situation over there. And again, the statement goes on to say that between 30th November and 19th December 2024, an oral cholera vaccination campaign was conducted in the Owutu Senya East, Ahanta West, Efia Kwesimintim, Sekandi, Takoradi, and Shama Metro Municipal, which are the hotspots, and a total of 662,906 persons have been vaccinated out of 792,482 eligible population. Now, after the vaccination campaign, the number of reported cases in those districts have declined steadily. Owutu Senya East has not recorded any confirmed cases after the vaccination exercise. The Ministry of Health, through the Ghana Health Service and in collaboration with the other relevant stakeholders, continue to take drastic measures to ensure that the cholera situation is brought under control, and these include, so these are the strategies. Let me just finally wrap up with them. It says activation of the National Public Health Emergency Operations Center at national level. Again, activation of Public Health Emergency Management Committee in all affected regions and district. Deployment of joint multi-sectoral public health emergency rapid response team from the national, regional and district level, as well as representatives from NCCE, GES, NADMO, and environmental health in all affected districts. But are we seeing this in the Western region in all these affected? I mean, is the NCC also blowing the alarm or sounding the alarm in the need for people to take their hygiene seriously? Well, again, the directive says it's having an ongoing detailed outbreak investigation and environmental assessment in the affected areas. And lastly, it says that there's going to be a daily active community case search, mobilization of logistics such as essential drugs, personal protective equipment, and water sanitation and hygiene. And we also, I mean, they go on to say that there's going to be water sampling for testing and culture from water sources in affected district. But in all these, we would want to also have the conversation properly ahead. And as I said, we're trying to engage our Western regional correspondent to also give us some live feed on what is currently happening at the Western region. But before then, we have Mr. Cromwell, Oliver Cromwell, on the line. Mr. Cromwell, Merry Christmas to you.
Same to you.
Hello, Mr. Cromwell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can hear you.
all right. So tell us the situation once again. It's alarming. 17 death, new recorded cases. But Mr. Cromwell, before we go deep into the conversation, I just want to find out from you, how in general is the celebration in the Western region going?
Yeah, the Christmas celebration is going on well in the Western region, especially in Takade, with a lot of enjoyment, and everything is going on well.
I believe this is causing a lot of dissatisfaction in the various communities in the Western region. But before that, let me introduce you to my guest. So Mr. Cromwell is the Regional Environmental Health Analyst with the Western region. So Mr. Cromwell, just as I said earlier, how is this causing in terms of response after this ban and the new reported cases in the Western region?
Yeah, the response was very great. People adhered to the directives, the food vendors, the protocols, cholera protocols. Everybody was trying to do his or her best. We were able to carry out our risk communication. We were able to do a lot of things, disinfecting the communities and the cases that we got and all those things. We did a lot, and I think the people agreed to go by the directives. Concerning the Takoradi Bronya, we made them organize it, and were able to educate them on what and what they should do. And they all adhered to that. And that has even contributed to the reduction of the cases that we are having now.
Mr. Cromwell, as we speak now, not just the market vendors are affected by this. We know it's the festive season, but walk us through about the debt situation as we speak. Some destitute also have been recorded to the cases, and it's really getting quite serious. But how does Environmental Health Department facilitate safe food practice during this festive season?
Yeah, what we did was that we were able to put some officers in place from 24, 25, 26 up to date to make sure that whatever the public is doing is in conformity with the and two, where we have disinfected almost every places in Takoradi, like the drainage system, the refuse dams, the houses, and all those things. Now we are even disinfecting the hospitals. And education is still going on. Education at the FM stations, education in the various areas is going on. And we even met the religious groups to educate them on what they should do, providing the hand washing facilities in their various respective areas. And even the all the people and the food vendors and everybody. So we cover the whole area, and people are trying to take advantage of that. And everybody is doing his best to ensure that cholera is out of Western region.
But if I may ask, what specific measures are being taken to prevent this spread in this festive season?
Yeah, that is what I'm saying, that before the festive season, we met the religious groups, all the religious groups in secondary Takoradi. We've also met the Takoradi Brunia, the organizers. You know, Takoradi, Christmas is like Easter in Kogu. And we met all the organizers, discuss with them, see how best it, and even we also gave the people these buses before they start. You know, we gave them buses before they started their programs and all those things. Apart from that, we are also doing we are collecting samples from some food vendors to see what is happening, and water samples to the lab to see what is happening now. So in Barabi, we are doing everything in this Christmas to make sure that we don't go back to the cases that the previous times that we have a lot of cases.
Mr. Cromwell, I mean, before I even ask my next question, there is a new development about the oral cholera vaccination. How does this, solve the situation, or also perhaps play a role in curbing the spread of this disease, if I may ask?
Yeah, for cholera vaccines, I think we had a huge coverage. About 93 plus coverage. That contributed to the reduction. Another thing that contributed to the reduction is people adhering to the protocols. They now understood the need to clean the environment, the need to wash their hands, the need to eat hot food and all this. Because now, when you are selling food and it's not hot, nobody will buy. So these are the things that contributed to the reduction of the cholera in the Western region. But notwithstanding, we are having some one or two in some of the districts outside Sekedi Takoradi, and it's manageable.
So for now, markets, vendors, and people that go to patronize these products or produce should not be concerned enough about it, or it's still a concern.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Now, the only thing is that we should continue being on them to do the right thing. We should always be on them to do the right thing.
And if I may ask, have there been enough sensitization for these market women? Because we know that after this sensitization and I should say conversations about the importance of maintaining a personal hygiene in terms of washing these vegetables and making sure that they are safe for wholesome consumption, you know that after this is just it may be a 9-day wonder, but how is the community, especially in the Western region, drumming home the need for effective, prevention, let me just say, in the region?
Yeah, from 4th of November up to date, we've been meeting the food banks. We've been discussing a lot with them. When the ban also came in place, we met them, we had a discussion, and we wanted that if you don't see any reduction, we'll go back to the ban. They also agreed. Met their leaders, we met all of them. We had a lot of discussion with them. So everybody, even the vegetable farmers were part of our meeting. So well, we did a lot for them to understand the need to continue. And nobody wants to lose his or her business. So they've agreed and they are doing the right thing. The only thing is that we need to continue. We need to continue because Ghana, as it is, like when the cholera came, when the COVID came, we did a lot to stop the COVID, but later we went back to our old ways. So now we're ensuring that almost every day environmental health is on the food vendors to do the right thing.
Mr. Cromwell, you are an environmental health analyst. I just want to find out from you, what advice do you have for residents to also help prevent the further spread of cholera, especially during this festive season?
What I would say is that they should continue to practice the protocols like washing of hands, eating hot food. Make sure that you prevent flies from your house. Without flies, cholera cannot come to your house. Without flies and house flies and your hands, cholera cannot come to your house. So if you keep your environment clean, like your houses, your drainage, and all those things, you don't allow it to stagnate. And then refuse disposal and all those things, you keep it neat, and then you wash your hands. I don't think you get cholera. And we should continue. And this is the habit that we should continue. And because when it comes to Ghana, I believe that it's laziness. We are aware of how cholera spreads. But it's because of laziness that we should go back and practice this simple personal hygiene. And we'll be free from all types of diseases, not cholera alone.
Mr. Cromwell, we're so much grateful for your time this morning, and we appreciate the fact that even during this festive season, you still had time to speak to us. Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much.
We have been speaking to Mr. Oliver Cromwell. He is a environmental health analyst in the Western region. And as he said, vendors should not be worried. And if you're going out to also purchase, in fact, I would advise that you become very cautious and know exactly what you're consuming, because the cholera outbreak is getting quite serious. And as the Ghana Health Service have said, they're putting out measures to also curb the situation. But you can also prevent it from also making sure that you stay safe, you stay hygienic, you clean your surrounding, and do all the precautions. You take the precautions that they have outlined. But that's all for French Story. We'll be back with some sports and some more to stay.
Good morning and welcome to ABC in the morning. This is the sports segment and we are back with the latest in the world of sports. Now let's go straight into the Ghana Premier League, where over the festive seasons, Legon Cities were plunged into a deeper relegation zone after a 1-0 defeat at home to Aduana FC in the Premier League on Boxing Day. Abdelatif Bamba scored the only goal of the match in the 43rd minute to separate the two teams at the University of Ghana Stadium. The result has lifted Aduana FC to 11th position with 17 points and will be a confident mood ahead of their next game against the defending champions FC Samatex 1996 next weekend. Legon Cities, winless in 4 matches, have seen their woes deepen as they remain rooted in the Premier League table. In Pando, Heart of Lions survived a scare to beat New Boys Young Apostles FC 1-0 to extend their lead at the top of the to 3 points. Despite a dominant display, Lions needed Kwesi Pong's 87th minute strike to deliver a hard-fought victory for the home side. Heart of Lions are top with 30 points from 15 games, 3 points above the second-placed Gold Stars FC, who have played a game less. Basaki Holy Stars Premier League match against Bechem United did not take place as the visitors failed to show up for the game. Now still in the Ghana Premier League, Asante Kotoko will welcome Gold Stars FC to the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi on Friday. The Porcupine Warriors have jumped to the 5th position in the table with 24 points after winning 3 consecutive matches in their last 5 outings. They've scored 13 and conceded 10 goals. Kotoko are among the top 10 best home performing clubs in the league will currently hope to snatch a maximum 3 points on Friday over a Gold Stars FC side that they have never lost to when playing at home since 2021. The Miners are lying second in the table with the same points as leaders Heart of Lions. They are the 3rd best scoring side in the league, having scored 14 and conceded 7. The Miners are the 7th best away club in the league with just a single defeat. Asante Kotoko have played Gold Stars FC 3 times at home in the league since 2021-22 season, with Kotoko winning 2 and drawing 1. Kotoko's strong head-to-head record and recent form makes them the favorite, but Gold Stars will be determined to continue their push for the top spot. Over the weekend too, Karela United will host Visions FC, Bekum Chelsea will also host Dreams FC, FC Samatex will host Nations FC at home, and also Accra Lions will host Hearts of Folk at the Accra Lions University of Ghana Sports Stadium. Nswatreman will host Mediama Sporting Club on the 8th of January 2025. And now we dive into the international waters, where over the festive seasons, Liverpool extended their lead at the top of the Premier League to 7 points by fighting back to beat Leicester City 3-1 at Anfield. Cody Gakpo, Curtis Jones and Mohamed Salah got the goals for Liverpool after Jordan Ayew's opener for Leicester City. In other fixtures, Everton deepened Manchester City's woes as they held them to a 1-1 draw in the early kickoff. Ndiaye scored to cancel out Bernardo Silva's opener. Erling Haaland also missed a penalty from the spot. Crystal Palace and Bournemouth played a goalless draw as Newcastle United defeated Aston Villa by 3-0. John Duran got sent off in the first half of that game. Fulham also stunned Chelsea with a 2-1 comeback at the Stamford Bridge. Rodrigo Muniz and Harry Wilson scored the 2 goals for Fulham after Cole Palmer opened the scoring for Chelsea. Nottingham Forest defeated Tottenham Hotspur by 1-0. Anthony Elanga got the goal for the home side, and also at Molino Sports Stadium, Bruno Fernandes was sent off for 2 bookable offences that saw Wolves defeat Manchester United by 2-0. Matheus Cunha opened the scoring, and Hwan Hee-chan also got the second goal for Wolves. West Ham also defeated Southampton with a 1-0. Now let's take a look at the Premier League table as it stands now. So Liverpool are top of the table with some 42 points. Chelsea follows closely with 35 points. Also, we have Nottingham Forest with 34 points, Arsenal with 33 points, and fifth position is Newcastle United. Arsenal will play Ipswich United today, and also Brighton will host Brentford to see if they can make any move from the 10th position. At the bottom half, we have Leicester City at 18 with 14 points, minus 18 goals. We have Ipswich with 12 points, minus 16 goals, and we also have the team carrying the 19 sides, that is Southampton. After 18 matches, Southampton has 6 points with negative 26 goals. And that's how we wrap up the sports segment here on ABC in the morning. For more sports updates, please log on to our website at www.abcnewsgh.com. I am Godwin Opoku Ochre.
You're welcome once again back to the program. Gone by was sports with Godwin, giving us the latest to know in the world of sport. But currently, we are back with some tech news, and I'm here to also give you tech news. But before that, you're also advised that we will be going to Ghana Speaks in a jiffy after Tech Trend, and so we'll be giving you the phone lines. You can just write it down so you can call us on 053 916 1609 0539 161 609. Call us and let us know how you're also celebrating your festive season. Unfortunately, I'm not celebrating enough as you are. As you can see, I'm busily working, giving you some life experience of how the festivity is faring. I mean, for God and country, why not? But let's know what from you. Let's hear from you, and know how you're celebrating. But in Tech Trick, we are bringing you the latest and greatest in tech to make your life easier and more fun. Today, we're diving into something that's perfect for the holiday season. Yes, a lot of you have a lot of things packed in your head to do, but smart home holiday hacks is our focus today in the festive season. And what better way is it to start than also automating your holiday lights? So whether you're decking the house or you're also just setting the mood for your cozy evening, smart lighting can also take you home from festive to a fabulous without lifting a finger left. And let's get into that. So as you can see, a lot of you ask, how do I even decorate my home with these lights? And it's easy with technology. You don't have to go call someone to come and fix these lights for you. It's easy. So first up, we've got to start with a smart bulb. Okay, so it's something we call a smart bulb. So gone are the days where scrambling to plug in holidays lights and also untangling a mess of wires. With smart bulbs, you can also easily set the perfect lighting with just an app. Okay, you can just look at it on your app, or you can use it via a voice command, and you can say, or you can issue a command, and whatever you want in the living room to glow with a soft, warm white light for Christmas Eve dinner, everything will be switched to colorful red and green for this Christmas. Now, in this Christmas party, smart also bulbs like Philips and others, including Wiz, make it quite effortless. And here's how to make it work. So simply screw in a smart bulb like you would a new regular light bulb and connect it to your home or your Wi-Fi through the app, and from there you can also adjust the brightness, color, and even set the perfect ambience all from your phone. Recently I saw on social media how one renowned fashion icon Vicky James just made a whole lot of renovation. I mean, that lady is a very interesting character. She's a designer, but she was able to make something. In fact, she created a Christmas light in her own room, and I felt like that was quite very beautiful. Okay, you can try that as well, even though you're not a designer. Again, let us talk about something, even color scheduling and also automation using your voice assistant. So with Alexa or your Google Assistant or Siri, you can also control the light hand-free. Now imagine this: you are finishing up dinner and it's almost time for guests to arrive. You can say, "Hey Alexa, set the living room lights to red and green," and here you go, Alexa will turn it into red and green for you. Yippee! Isn't that beautiful? But it also gets even better when you schedule your lights to turn on and off automatically. Now, this is a perfect way for setting the mood during a holiday movie night, or even if you want your home to look lived in a very interesting and visiting way, so that people can also enjoy your home. And also just open your Assistants app and create a routine and let it handle the rest for you. So these app tips I'm just giving free of charge. You can try that in your home and see. You can just use Alexa, your Google apps, and see if it's not going to work. It will work, trust me. Unless you don't have these appliances at home. If you do, trust me, it's quite easy. And for those of you who want to also take a little bit top-notch higher on how syncing your lights to music, yes, you can also create a full-on light show that reacts to your favorite holiday tunes with apps like Hue Sync for Philips and Hue Bobs, and you can also synchronize your lights to the beat of the music, turning your living room into a holiday dance party. I love it when, it's there's no Christmas when you don't listen to Christmas song. What's the essence of Christmas? It gets you in the mood. So in all of this, you have to set the mood, especially getting the right music and turning your living room especially into a holiday dance party. A lot of you have not decorated your homes, and when someone visits your homes, we don't even find or can't even feel the festive season. Now, these are simple methods you can easily apply and try and use that in your home. So smart home holiday move is what I'm talking to you about. Isn't it interesting? Again, if you don't want to replace all the bulbs but still want to add that smart touch, you can also use smart plugs to also control existing holiday lights. If you have any holiday light, in fact a Christmas tree which has this sparkling light all over, you don't have to buy a new one or even issue a command through Alexa. You can just through technology just plug it and the light becomes, you know, a brightened star in your living room or whichever color. So you plug your string light into a smart plug and voila, now you can also turn them on and off remotely with your voice or phone. So smart plugs like those from TP-Link or Wemo are, you know, super affordable, and you can also let you easily automate whatever you plug into them. So in conclusion, this festive season, you have it this time, this holiday festive season, you don't have to worry about a tangled cord manually switching off and on light or forgetting to turn them off before bed. So with smart lighting, your home can shine bright and change colors and even sync with your favorite tunes, all with just a tap of the button or a simple voice command. So remember that creating that perfect festive atmosphere is easier than ever with smart home tech. So you can, also engage in the festive season. So why not give it a try this festive season? It's still holiday season, and let's know at home the glow in the way that that's both smart and merry. So that's all I can share for you today on Tech Trick. Happy holiday once again, and we're hoping once again to engage you guys in another interesting conversation in Tech Trick in another season. Trust us, next year, hopefully when we are still alive, we're going to have a very beautiful and innovative discussion about Tech Trick. But that's all for Tech Trick once again. Well, I'm still your host anyways, Eric Chinebo. I'm back with Ghana Speaks. Once again, before we go on that break, we are reminded to call us on 053-916-1609, 056. We put that on your screens for you, so you can call us and also let us know how you're feeling, how the festive season is going for you. You also want to make a dedication, a birthday, a Christmas wish to that loved person of your life. We would appreciate to hear from you. So call us on 0539-161-609. Would appreciate it. Up next is Ghana Speaks. To stay.
Times are hard in Ghana, extremely hard.
As we gear towards the 2024 general elections, there have been conversations around having a presidential debate. Will it happen or not? This is Ghana Speak.
Times are hard in Ghana, extremely hard.
As we gear towards the 2024 general elections, there have been conversations around having a presidential debate. Will it happen or not? This is Ghana Speak.
Welcome once again to the program. It's still ABC in the morning, the Christmas edition. Well, not your regular morning show host for today, but as I said earlier, Abina is resting, and Abina, I'm sending my greetings to you. She has been texting me and telling me, Melo, you're doing well, but you know this is your position, and this is where she's enjoying the Christmas, and I'm hoping that she comes. I mean, she graduated. Once again, Abina, congratulations to you, and we're so proud of you. The entire ABC team is very proud of you. So it's you know, in order, if you take a rest a while and come back and bounce back, so your viewers can enjoy the exceptional conversations that you have been engaging. But as you know, not really your regular morning show host. So Abina, once again, greetings to you. But in all, we want to ask you, your viewers, our viewers, how this Christmas celebration has been for you. Have you been able to have enough fun during this Christmas? Let us know from you what this festive season has for you. As I said, you can call us on 053-916-1609, 0539-161609. Let us hear from you. Interestingly, some also say that they are planning for 2025 instead, not really, you know, being concerned about celebration this festive season, because hey, there's a lot of things to look out for in terms of next year. People are going to pay fees, especially if you have a lot of kids. For those of you who have 5 to 6 kids, I don't want to be in your shoes, honestly. I just don't want to be in your shoes. Again, rent issue. If your rent is going to be, definitely landlords or landladies are thinking of how to also increase their rent in the next year. So some say, I mean, some people that personally have called me and I have said that, Charlie, Melo, this Christmas, dear, I know the seat topo. That's how most of them say. I know the seat topo. I ask them why. It's like, Charlie, I have a lot of bills to pay. Kids fees you know, on my head, and a lot of responsibilities. But in all of this, there have been a lot of activities still on the you know, on the go. For instance, as you can see, Beam concert no long ago, that was I think 22nd. Stonebwoy having a lot of packed audience you know, at his concert. Yesterday was Rapperholic. Oh my god, it was so amazing. It was so amazing. Rapperholic was just, I mean, Sarkodie is indeed a landlord. You can disagree with me in the comment section, but I mean, I love Sarkodie to bit. I love everything, and I think Sarkodie nailed it yesterday at Rapperholic. Kudos to Sarkodie and the entire team. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend, but I saw sneak peeks and, you know, visuals of it display on social media, and I feel like all these activities was massive. Again, yesterday, Medical had his concert with Shatawale, and another experience to also see, you know, over there, or to have witnessed over there. But in all of this, you in particular, how have you celebrated your Christmas? Call us, let's know. Some of you have been indoors, just like myself. Me, I am quite an introvert. I don't really like to associate, like get into a wild crowd. But in my own corner, I celebrate Christmas in my own way. But you watching me today, what is your activity looking like, or what is your schedule? A lot of people also will be going to the beach today. Are you going to the beach? Are you going to have a visit, a family reunion, and all of that? We just want to hear from you. Are you also affected by the cholera outbreak in certain, I mean, the affected regions? We just want to hear from you. Or has anybody even surprised you with any Christmas celebration at all? Well, honestly, nobody has given me anything, and the question is, Melo, have you also given somebody anything? Well, if you give, I will give. Is a give and take thing. Or you guys, you know, the Christmas is all about giving. So if someone gives you, it's cool. But why you're being so expectant that, oh, I'm hoping that someone gives me something, and you are not also willing to give, that's where you feel cheated. I mean, it's, if you don't give, how do you expect someone to give? But guys, call us 0539-161609, or you can also tweet at us at our social handles. We'll be glad to hear from you. You can send us a message also on our platforms. We'll read it for you. If you want to make a birthday dedication, if you also want to wish anyone a happy, a Merry Christmas, you can also let us know, and we will be glad. But just as you see on your screen, some of the displays of activities, I see Stonebwoy and Davido over there. So Davido was in town. Oh, that was catchy. well, my producer tells me that's Davido. So Davido was in town, and as you can see on the screen, it was a very lovely event, very lovely, a beam concert. It was a very lovely concert experience. A lot of Nigerians also trooping in here in the country to celebrate the festivity. It's still ongoing. I can see a lot of activity today. For instance, today is 27. Today is Boxing Day, so today is all about giving. We just want to know from you or hear from you, if somebody has called you to wish you a Merry Christmas, what was the package like, and perhaps what is your expectation this festive season, and how is your celebration even faring? Are you able to have enough, or have you been able to have enough rest or fun? Now, bear in mind that rest is also quite important this festive season, so it's not always about this celebration and chilling here and there. Remember that January is just around the corner. Guys, trust me, January is when a lot of people are going to get frustrated. There's going to be depression. There's going to be heart attack. There's going to be a lot of tension in the atmosphere, because guess what? January comes in a very long, like January is like a whole year on its own. 31. That's a long thing to endure, and it moves very slowly. It moves very slowly. For salary workers, I don't know how you're going to deal with the festivity, but we just want to hear from you. I believe we do have an active caller on the line. Hello, Merry Christmas to you. Where are you calling us from?
Hello, Merry Christmas.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling us from, please?
Right, I am Jacob. I'm calling from the northern region. Christmas has been very dull. Nothing much, just indoors and watching a few movies here and there. Just that, nothing much.
When you say indoors, I mean, you mean you've been inside the house for a long period during this festivity? Nothing, no movement, not even going out to the beach or hanging out with friends?
Yes, exactly. If you know the northern region, we don't really have beaches and those things. So it's just a few jumps here and there, but I'm not a fan of jumps, so I'm just inside doing nothing, watching movies, and just hoping that somebody will surprise me with a gift. But Charlie, nothing is coming.
You are hoping to receive a gift, but have you also made efforts to try give someone a gift this festive season?
No, not really.
Yeah, but you know that it's a give and take thing, or you don't believe that?
So in this case, I am requesting something from Melu.
Oh, thank you so much, Jacob. Okay, Jacob calling us from the northern region. He says for the northern region, they don't have beaches. Well, I know about that, but I mean, Jacob, you can try and engage in some of these activities and these concerts, or I don't know if there's any activity happening in the northern region. But let's see how things really go for you. Unfortunately, I wanted to ask him what his plans may be for the next coming year, especially in 2025, because hey, whilst a lot of people are enjoying this festive period, some also say that it is not really a good thing for them. They can't be bothered about any festivity because they have a lot to do. They have to pay their fees, as I said. They have to make plans. Some are even building. You know, I think it really calls for a long conversation on this. You know, preparation for 2025, and maybe we'll be treating that topic in subsequent, you know, conversations. But I think in all, this Christmas really has been felt. In fact, relatively, I could say, it really has been quite interesting when you walk through the street of Accra, Kumasi, and some part of the regions. You would experience that, yes, indeed, Charlie, people really, they chill. A lot is happening in town, but I'm just hoping that after Christmas, you'll be calling people for, I beg, can you allow me some small money? So whilst you're trying to, you know, chill, it's advisable to save. Okay, it's advisable to save, and you don't have to be overspending. Know your budget, and you can also know how to go about it. Once again, you can call us on 0539 16106 0539 161609 0539 161609 0539 1609. Call us. Let's hear from you. Let's know how you're celebrating your festive season. I understand because there's a lot of tiredness also in the atmosphere. A lot of concert has happened, and so a lot of people are tired. So waking up to even to call, it's quite a worry. I get it because most of you are tired. But let's know what you guys think about the festive. We have another call. Good morning and Merry Christmas to you.
Good morning. Many happy returns.
Yeah, what's your name and where you calling us from, sir?
I'm Samuel Siama, calling from La Paz.
Oh, Samuel, how have you been celebrating this festivity?
All right, so I am a hawker, and you see, because of the Christmas, people didn't really come, and I also focus on the money, so I didn't really go out to chill, but I saw people enjoying and having fun. Yeah.
When you say you were a hawker, what exactly do you do, and why are you saying there's low patronage in what you do?
Yeah, I sell second-hand goods, and also I do some tie and dye stuffs. Yeah.
So business really has not been good for you.
People don't really come to market.
So you have not been having fun this period, I guess.
No, not really.
But have you thought of perhaps going out your closet to at least step out, have some fun, engage with some friends and family, just to ease the tension in the atmosphere for you? Have you tried that?
Yeah, you see, this Christmas, it's like when you go to the market, because of the way the sun is scorchy, you get home tired. So to think of going back to the streets the following day, you can't go and
Too bad. So what are your plans again? Oh, unfortunately, we've lost Samuel on the line. So Samuel from La Paz says he's a hawker, and the business really has quite been slow for him. He's also into tie and dye business, quite another venture that quite lucrative, but he says Christmas really, he's not enjoyed the festive season because there's been a low patronage over there, and I don't know how to, explain how people should be feeling in these low patronage terms of, Christmas festivity. But relatively, every consistent year, this news about this year is not good and last year was better than this year, that conversation still lingers, and you ask yourself, so if the next year was better, the previous year was better than this year, so why was there complaint again and again, or why has there been consistent complaint? In fact, every market vendor you engage will say last year was better than this year. I bet you next year we should ask them, they'll be like, okay, last year, which they complained saying that it was terrible, they will say again that it was quite better than. So relatively, I don't know how to box these vendors or traders. I mean, it's understandable, but let's know what you think also and how you're celebrating your Christmas. Today is Boxing Day, and we want to find out from you, how has your Christmas celebration be? Before we move on to our next conversation for today here on ABC in the morning. If you couldn't call us, you can also tweet at us. We are streaming live on YouTube, ABC News Ghana. Would appreciate your thought and comments. You can leave them and I'll gladly read them for you. You can call us on 0539 161609, 0539 161609, and we will be glad to hear from you. Well, it looks like the calling pattern is jammed with a lot of people trying to call, but we seem to be having some technical issues trying to accept all the call. We know that all of you, some of you have been trying to call back. The producer tells me that the network has been jamming and it's even frozen. But we'll be back with some more conversations. Up next is our main discussion. Do stay for that conversation. You're welcome back once again to the program. This is ABC in the Morning, the Christmas edition. Once again, I am Eric Chinebwa Mello, and I'm sitting in for the beautiful Albina Mante. I told you once again that this festive season, she's actually resting because, of course, why not? She's been serving you back to back with some great discussions, and I'm sitting in for him, and she will resume her seat, in coming days. But for now, today on our conversation on main discussion, we know that Supreme Court will today, Friday, December 27, hear an application for the National Democratic Congress. As we know, the NDC have petitioned the Supreme Court after the Accra High Court ruling. So today, Friday, December 27, we'll hear an application from the judicial review filed by the opposition National Democratic Congress, that's the NDC. Now, the case challenges a High Court ruling from December 20 that directed the Electoral Commission to recollate parliamentary election result in 9 disputed constituencies. The ruling also followed a mandamus application filed by the New Patriotic Party parliamentary candidate in the affected areas, and in its decision, the High Court has ordered the EC to fulfill its constitutional mandate of verifying and recollating results in the contested constituencies. So far, the EC has also complied in the 7 of the 9 constituencies, completing the recollation process. However, results for Dome Kwabenya and Ablekumi North remain very outstanding. And the NDC has strongly opposed both the High Court ruling and the EC's subsequent actions, describing the recollation process as illegal and baseless. Now, the party urges that the High Court overstepped its jurisdiction and that its directive undermines transparency and procedural fairness and the integrity of the electoral process. But still with the NDC, during this same conversation, they did release a statement about the ruling, and perhaps I would have to go and help out with what they released after the statement, I believe, the High Court ruling. So, well, we'll put that on your screens for you in a jiffy. But generally, they are challenging, or they would be challenging the ruling of the the High Court. We know that some of the outstanding constituencies that are still pending currently is the Dome Kwabenya seat, or the Dome Kwabenya constituency, and the NDC say that all of these are illegalities the Electoral Commission has organized, and for them it is against the Constitution, and they are seeking to have an injunction on all of this. But we want to have a conversation on this to look at the legal aspect. What does it mean for a High Court to rule and for the opposition National Democratic Party to say that no, we would challenge this and would want to have a redress on this matter? And so we also would be having a legal perspective on this. Also, we'll be engaging a governance expert to also have a political analyst, Dr. Samuel Ifriye. I believe he's on the line to have a conversation on that conversation. Dr. Samuel, Merry Christmas to you, and once again, good morning to ABC in the Morning.
Yeah, good morning, Eric.
First of all, let me just pick your thought. I mean, before we go into our proper discussion, how has the celebration been going for you this festive season?
Before that, let me greet your cherished viewers and also your team and ABC Ghana. I think it has been a good time being with you, and also the opportunity to also share and also learn from each other. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity. So I wish all the team and viewers Merry Christmas, and let's be cautious wherever we go, so that we enter 2025 with good optimism and more expectations. The celebration, Eric, I think for us, it's just to take time off and to rest, and also to think about what is going on. So I personally am not those that are going to those programs and those kind of things. So, but I've seen when you move around, you see people are having time
people are enjoying the Christmas. And when you go to town, traffic, you have a lot of human traffic as well, in town, everywhere. And in the evening, you see gatherings, you see places where people are gathering. And I've seen that the NDC is also celebrated well because of Thanksgiving parties and a lot. So it's quite good. And we thank God for the peaceful environment that we find ourselves.
And Dr. Afriyie, once again, we'd want to appreciate your time. Every time we call you on our segment, on our programs, you're always there for the conversation. Once again, we do appreciate it.
My pleasure, Eric.
Yes, but today we want to focus on one major conversation that has been, ongoing since last week and now. Today, being 27th of December, the NDC will be, the Supreme Court will be giving a hearing on the NDC's petition against all the contentious seats that they say they want to sit an injunction on. But I just want to find out from you, explain to us from the legal perspective, how would this, political, sorry. I beg your pardon. So I just want to find out from you, what impact does the ongoing legal challenges, have for the relationship between the NDC and the NPP in this conversation? Forgive me for speaking as a legal or questioning you in legal terms.
Yes. I will even try. Because that is not my area. If not, those they call themselves. Learned colleagues will come and beat me up, so I will not go there. But what happened about these constituencies that, about 9 constituencies that we have these situations, unfortunate situations about recollations and undeclared results for these constituencies is quite unfortunate. And I think that we need to learn from the situation so that we avoid it for the future elections, because we have not had this experience. I think as much as 9. I think we may be having 1 or 2 issues where recollation is being done. So it's unfortunate. How the EC also handle it is where I have a problem, and also the police, the security agencies, especially the police, I think was not was ineffective in policing these constituencies, because I think that they should have an intelligence to know how these areas could have been seen to be having some security challenges that they should have avoided that. So here the responsibility goes to the EC and also goes to the security agencies, where people were allowed into these centers, forcing EC officials to declare some results, and that is an unfortunate. And the learning experience is that it has both the positive and the negative. The positive aspect is where we will learn from it to avoid it next time, where EC will put in place certain measures to ensure that their officers are well secured and well placed, and maybe they will have to have assurance from the police next time. At the same time, the negative aspect is that it can also encourage the MPP or the other political parties to also marshal their people to these coalition centers next time, because the MPP sees that even though the results that have been recollated and they are benefiting out of it, means that they are thinking that they have been unfair treated in some of these constituencies, and also they think that some constituencies this could have resulted them for the party losing a lot of seats. So it will let them be aware, on guard, that next time they will not allow this situation to come. And that is the negative aspect, or the bad aspect, that maybe it will happen in the 2028. And I think that we all need to be assured of all these situations that happen for the recollation. I believe that whether it goes to the Supreme Court or they go to whatever court that it might be, I think that the right procedure needs to be followed. If it is legally right for the for EC to do recollation, and also the NDC also having an injunction from the Supreme Court of whatever, I think that the legal process is also good, so that next time we know the situation, whether EC has the right to recollate that is vote results, or recollate ballot papers for us to have a clear winner for various constituencies. And I think that it's quite good. Let the legal process take its side. and at the same time, let the other side also look at it very well. Let's take a retrospective view about how these few constituencies is making things unclear for EC and all of us. Because it's unfortunate. I believe that the EC has really done well for having a peaceful elections and also having a declared results for parliamentary candidates so far. And just these few things might be a nugget in the bag, so that I think that we need to look at it very well.
Doc, you have also suggested that stakeholders come together to solve this issue amicably, but for some time now that has not happened. But do you see the Supreme Court hearing today bringing finality to this conversation?
I think today is I don't know whether it is judgment. I think it's the defense that the application or the defense that the NDC is trying to go and put it up. I don't know whether there is going to be a judgment for the case. But earlier, as I said, most of I think your platform, I said that the EC need to look at it very well for all the stakeholders. I think the EC could have done it earlier to avoid some of these things, because now the NDC is thinking that the two-third majorities that they want, the MPP want to frustrate that agenda, and so that even though they have absolute majority, but they want to have a sort of control, and so they think that the NDC, the MPP is using that, and that is where the issue comes in here. But I believe that if all results, the pink sheets are the real evidence for these results. So if both sides have those pink sheets and it's well declared, I don't have, if there are any issues, the law court should be looked at. But I think that the EC could have done better earlier by trying to put these parties or stakeholders involved so that things could have been resolved earlier than being stretched this time.
And I would want to ask on that. So how does this ongoing dispute affect the perception of Ghana's electoral integrity, both domestically and internationally? Just as you mentioned that the EC could have done better in this regard.
There's no perfect elections as we may see around the world, but you know that we have these challenges because it's a human institution. Maybe one or two issues will come out. But I think that these things might not affect EC in the international perspective, even local, because the EC has really done well. If you have more than 275 constituencies and you have 9 challenges, I don't think that it is we can just use that as a conclusive statement to say that the EC has not done well. Or because it's not an easy thing. We have a lot of more than I think 47,000 police stations, more than that, and just handling some of these things and few areas, 9 constituencies, which in quotes they don't affect the presidential result. So you cannot clearly state that this is something that will affect EC. Even if there are issues, how you resolve it, the procedure, the way you handle it, determines how capable you are in some of these things. So I will not say that the EC has not done well, but I think that the few issues that arose, how they are trying to handle it is what matters most. And I think they deserve some credibility or some kind of applause for that. But I think that these things need to be resolved as soon as practicable so that we have a conclusive end for 2024 elections.
Doc, I'll kindly wish that you hang in there for me. We have been also joined on the phone by constitutional lawyer via Zoom. Constitutional lawyer Kwame Adofo. Counsel, Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you too.
Yeah, Counsel, help us understand and explain to us from a layman's perspective the legal basis of the NDC's motion to quash the High Court's order. How does this work?
Let me greet you again and your listeners and your the people who are watching you live. When somebody, when you have a case at the High Court, let me go back so that you can explain. And the judge makes a decision or a ruling, and you think it's wrong. The avenue for you is by way of appeal. However, sorry, let me go back again. The avenue after a judge has made a decision and you feel he's wrong and you are not happy with the judgment or ruling is to appeal it to the Court of Appeal. Now, having said that, however, there are some errors that are not meant for you to go to the Court of Appeal, but you can go straight to the Supreme Court. For example, if the judge acted without, for example, you can simply go to the.
So, hello, lawyer, if you can unmute yourself, so yeah, properly we can hear you now. Go on.
Yeah. Thank you. Somebody came on and knocked me out. Look, however, there are some errors that you don't go to the Court of Appeal, where, for example, the judge acted in excess of his jurisdiction, or where there was a breach of natural justice. I'll have to explain them to you. Or where the judge assumed a certain power that he doesn't have. Let me try and explain it to you. When we say a breach of natural justice, it means the right to be heard. For example, let's say the judge, in hearing the case, knows that the decision will affect you, for example. The law says we have to give you a hearing. So the judge must pause whatever he's doing and invite you for your comment, for you to comment on why or your response to the allegations made against you before he makes a decision. That's what we call natural justice, audi alteram partem rule. But this is not meant for ordinary citizens like you and I. It's just a legal jargon. Essentially, it means right to be heard before a decision is made against you. So when a judge, for example, makes a decision without giving you a hearing or an opportunity to be heard, then you don't need to appeal it through the normal appeal process of going to the Court of Appeal. You go straight to the Supreme Court and ask that it be smashed, it be quashed. That is what I understand the NDC has done. My understanding is that they are of the view that the judgment affected them, and therefore the court ought to have given them an opportunity to be heard by allowing them to join the suit. And therefore, the court not allowing them to join the suit means they have been denied the opportunity to be heard, which is what? Denial of natural justice or denial of right to be heard. So if that is established, then you go straight to the Supreme Court and seek to quash the decision of the High Court. And that is what I understand is the basis of the application, because ordinarily they would have had to go to the Court of Appeal and ask, to correct the errors. However, there are some errors or mistakes. I think it's better to use words like mistakes rather than errors. There are some mistakes that are unpardonable mistakes. That is, when a judge or a court make that mistake, the avenue is to go straight to the Supreme Court and have that quash. That is what I understand the NDC has sought to do in this case.
Counsel, again, then I can ask you, so how likely is it that the Supreme Court will rule in favor of the NDC, given the legal arguments and, the current political climate that we seem to be in?
Well, look, it's hard to say because I haven't actually seen their full application there yet. But I've read bits and pieces from here and there saying that the allegation is that they approached the court and said they wanted to join. And the court said, no, given the urgency of the matter, and there was not there was no need for them to join. Now, if you decide to go to the facts, It will be interesting to see what arguments are raised at the Supreme Court this morning. Why do I say that? I say that the allegation of the NDC is that once there has been a declaration, and this is important, the allegation that the NDC is making is that once there has been a declaration by the EC has no other power to remake another declaration, except when the person goes to court. I don't know if you're following what I'm saying.
Counsel, I'm following.
Their argument is that once the EC has made a declaration, that should be final. And whoever is not happy should go to court. But you see, there's a problem with that argument in the sense that the EC is saying it hasn't made a final declaration. What it made, according to some of its officers, that they made some declaration without taking into account certain pink sheets, which were to be added before they could make a conclusion or final declaration. However, they were forced, and there is a strong statement by some of the officers, at least one that I know of, that says that he was forced to declare even before he could get all the other pink sheets. He was forced to declare.
But Counsel, before you even proceed with your answers, just as you mentioned that he was forced, in fact, not just one person, quite a number of persons, electoral officers have said that they have been forced or were under duress to make this declaration. How do we identify, or how can we identify someone being under duress when we have a police entourage in the premise, and still they would say that they're under duress? In terms of law, how do we justify and juxtapose these two?
Well, look, the answer lies with the EC itself. The question is, has the EC finished its work or not? That's where the answer is. If the EC says we have not finished our work, then the law allows them or entitles them to do whatever calculation they need to do until they are satisfied that what they've done is it. So it means whether they were forced or not forced, at the end of the day, had the EC or has the EC come out now to say we have finished our work or we have not finished our work? Now, if they say we have not finished our work or we did finish our work, but we subsequently discovered that we had made a mistake, the law allows the EC to amend their work. If you read Section 22 of the Interpretation Act, and I think this is important, it will settle the case. Section 22 of the Interpretation says when an authorized body or when an administrative body has been given a mandate, it has the power to correct any mistakes that it makes. So, for example, if I go and do the birth certificate of my children, and I go there and the birth certificate, the date of birth is wrong, or the mother's date is wrong. Now, the law says the birth and death people have the right to correct it. I don't need to go and take them to court before they correct it. No, the law allows them to correct it. It is where they say, no, we will not correct it, and that this is what they are going to give me, then I will have the right to take the birth death people to court. I hope you are following that argument. The same way, when an electoral commission says we have not finished our work or we made a mistake in our calculation, then the question is, under the law, under Section 22 of Interpretation Act, they are allowed to correct their mistakes. And it is until they have corrected their mistakes that you have the right accrued to you to take them to court. Now, what they are saying now, whether there was a gun put to their head, there was a mistake by default or whatever, at the end of the day, the question is, did the EC say they have finished their work or did they not? So if they have not finished their work, then there's nothing you can do. They have the power to correct the mistakes that they say they made. And It is after they have corrected their mistakes that anybody will have the right to take them to court. I hope you are following the line of
Counsel. I'm following.
Because you see that once the law allows them to correct their mistakes, whether there was a gun put to their head to make the mistake, or they were just incompetent, they made a mistake, whatever, then the question that is answered is, does the law allow them to correct it or not? Let me give you another example. You remember 2020? The EC came out with 4 or 5 different forms of declarations. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And that went to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, look, when it is an administrative body with the power to make a decision, in exercising that power, if it finds that it has made a mistake, the law allows them to correct their mistake. So in this case, if whether there was a gun put to their head or whether they were just purely incompetent or whatever, if they say we had made a mistake and we are recalculating and this is our end result, the law simply allows them to do that. So that is the status of the case now.
Counsel, I'll come back to you, but let me go back to Dr. Afriyie and ask him this question. Doc, maybe you'd want to have a bite of what Counsel has said, but do you also think that the Electoral Commission's action in recollating and declaring results could have a long-term political ramification in the coming years?
Yes, I don't think so. But let me greet my good friend, Celia.
Hello, Doc.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, your line seems quite faint, but if you can kindly project for us so we can audibly hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Better.
Yes. I was just trying to say that I greet my senior lawyer, Kwame Adolfo, and I'm learning from him as well. That is from his field. That is his field. You know, about the question that you ask, it seems that, as I said earlier about this situation, you have to look at the learning process as well. You have to look at the other aspect of it, where the legal process will go through for all of us to learn how it will affect the 2028 elections, especially the other aspect of recollation and about the elections. So I don't think, I think, as lawyer said, he's talking about if the EC can have an opportunity to recall, at least to the mistakes that they've done, they can correct that mistakes. If they administratively they can do that, I don't think that maybe the law will exonerate that is the EC. But I think that the situation demands that the EC need to ensure that before it end up to the law court. I'm of those those people that think that things can be resolved when issue rises that we need to look at the various people that are involved. We sit down and we talk about it before it ends up. The intransigence of some people or some stakeholders sometimes result to some of these things. So I think that for all of us, it will serve our interest if the court will give a clear definition, a clear road for all of us to learn, so that in 2028, even if there are issues that will crop up, the EC will know how to handle that, and so that the parties involved will also understand. My fear, as I said, is that the other party, the MPP, would not also re-strategize to also cause the same situation that happened by also letting their groups or their gang to also go into collation center to also cause mayhem or also to frustrate the system. And that is what I think that we need to avoid, that so that everything will be clear for both parties and also the EC as well. And I think the legal process, we are here to learn, and we will continue to learn from it.
Doc, I mean, if these political conversations and stability of dispute are not resolved between these major political parties, what are going to be the impact? Because look, even after the High Court's ruling, the NDC say, guess what, we're going to court. And even should the Supreme Court rule against the NDC, they are like, okay, so they have tagged, in fact, some of them have tagged the judiciary as a body or an extension of the New Patriotic Party. And should they, resume office, then another conversation about we also having a new interpretation of the law is another topic. But I just want to find from you, how is this going to affect our political stability? Should this conversation of dispute not be resolved?
Oh, Eric, I think it will be resolved. Even in elections result has been resolved. Elections. So this is just about 9 constituencies, and these issues will be resolved as soon as these are not issues. It's just that the misunderstanding that crop up between the parties involved. If election results can be resolved by the Supreme Court, and nothing is done, like people were not, even though you are disappointed, but you are not able to do anything. How much more these 9 constituencies? So this is one issue about the Supreme Court being tagged or whatever. At the end of the day, the Supreme Court is where all of us will have a way out to have a clear roadmap. So there's an issue, and I think that the Supreme Court, whether you agree or disagree, I think they are the institution left for all of us, because the two sides, the political, let's say, for example, Parliament and also the executive is being governed by the NDC or even the ruling government. So the judiciary is there to shape everything or to help all of us. What I've been saying is that if the Supreme Court does not go by the law, I think you also have another opportunity to seek redress. Even if the Supreme Court has ruled, has made judgment, and you think that you don't agree, you can still reapply for a new kind of case. I'm not into it, but I know that you have an opportunity to seek redress, even at the Supreme Court. So if those stages are not being resolved, and you think that if you send something to court and at the end of the day, you always think that it has to be of your interest. And I think that the situation about Atufosin also, who case, I think you see that parties involved in the law court. When always you are a beneficiary, the way you tag the court is different. But if you have been a victim, the way you also say things to court is also different. The issue is that is the Supreme Court not using the law. If they are not using the law, then you have a way out in terms of seeking redress, even at the Supreme Court. So, Eric, I don't think that this will cause any much problem, and this will not even cause any way of changing Supreme Court. It's not just sending people to, let's say, to school and then bringing them back to the house. The process that they go through before entering there is not easy for them to be removed, except exceptional situation where they go against the law. So that one, I think sometimes is somehow political talk that they used to against the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has evolved and has stand the test of time, and I think that they will continue to stand for the test of time, no matter how people will tag them. They use the law, and the law needs to be protected, and they have to continue on that.
Doc, I'll come back to you for your final words, because we know you'll be quite engaged in a jiffy. But let me also engage counsel on this. Counsel, so in this case, how independent should the court be in making this decision so it doesn't seem as though it's politically charged or motivated in this case?
I like the way you asked the question. How independent should the court be? The court is always supposed to be independent. So I can't see how they can be more independent than they already are. Of course, there are some people who always like to tag the court, no matter whichever way it goes. When it goes in their favor, they will say, oh, you see, I was not guilty. When it goes against them, they say, oh, I told you, the court is not on our side. So the court will always be independent. It's just a question of the actors. the political actors. You heard the way they were calling the Supreme Court names. It's just the way they are. So whichever way the court holds, somebody is going to come out with something just to attack the courts. In some countries, there is the highest form of contempt. But in this country, we just take things for granted. People just do what they like. So in terms of the answer to your question, how independent should the court be? The court is always going to be independent, just that the people will not accept it, whichever way they hold. But that is not to stop them from doing their work, because that's why they are paid to be there. And therefore, I think let's see where the chips will fall after today. We'll know whether there is merit in the NDC's application or there's not. But if it goes against them, trust me, they are going to come out with another brush to paint them. Even if the court is very, very independent, they will still go and paint them in a certain way. It's a political game that they are playing. So that's my answer to that.
And counsel again, how might the courts balance in trying to uphold this electoral integrity versus avoiding certain perceptions of political instability, also bold in this conversation?
I don't understand the question, if you can put it again, because it sounds like you want the court to act in a certain way to avoid the political effect.
Well, that's because the NDC say, I mean, some of the, I should say, executives, I've heard them speak, have said that they do not even trust the judicial system. And I'm wondering, in fact, how perhaps yesterday is going to be the hearing, but in terms of they wanting to seek a redress just even after the High Court has given it verdict, how might the court's ruling and I mean the balance of trying to uphold this electoral integrity and avoiding instability in this situation, you know, be? That's all I want to ask.
The two positions of the NDC are inconsistent in the sense that you cannot say you don't trust the court and then at the same time go to court. It makes it difficult for anybody to understand. You know, you say you don't trust, so you have two positions here. You don't trust the court, but then you go to court. You know, it's just not something you should do. Especially when you say you don't trust the court, then you don't go to court. Because the moment you go to court, then the presumption is that you do trust the court. Otherwise, why are you going to court? Maybe that's the question you should pose to, or you should put to those who are advocating that position, that they don't trust the court. You ask them, why are they then going to court? Because I remember the election. They told us that they will not go to court. The whole country heard that they will not go to court. So it's quite surprising that they are now going to court. If you know that you don't trust the court, then you don't bother going to court. Now, in terms of the judges, I think at the end of the day, the judges will look and see, is this a matter that is merit review, or is this a matter that is about whether the judge exceeded his powers? You don't go to Supreme Court when it's just an ordinary merit review, meaning you don't go to Supreme Court when you just want the case of the judge to be reviewed. You go to the Supreme Court where you say the judge exceeded his powers or he breached the rules of natural justice, which I have explained. That is, he made a decision without hearing your side. That's when you go to the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court is strictly going to look at that. Did the judge give them an opportunity to be heard? If not, were they affected by the decision? See, if you look at it strictly, I'm quite surprised that the NDC was seeking to be part of the case. The reason is this. It's very simple. The case that went to court was not the MPP taking the Electoral Commission to court. See, that's the distinction. The MPP did not take the Electoral Commission to court. Those who took the Electoral Commission to court were the individuals that were affected by the EC not declaring, or declaring without including certain P seats for its final declaration. So if that is the case, then the parties affected should rather go to court, not the NDC, because the NPP did not go to court. The individuals went to court. That being the case, then the individuals not affected should rather be the ones going to court. So I don't see why they are bringing in the NDC. The NDC application to join was refused because it did not concern them. It concerned individuals, not the party, not the political party. I don't know if I'm making myself clear. Because there was no political party involved. It were individuals. For example, Member of Parliament for Adwa, Esau Adwa, he went to court and said, look, they have not included certain pig sheets in their final declaration, and therefore the EC should be compelled to do its job. He did not take the political party to court. So when the NDC says, I'm joining, you are joining in your capacity as what? That is a bit tricky. But of course, they have gone to the Supreme Court. Maybe they have something that we don't know yet. But in terms of the law itself, they have to show that they were denied some fairness. They were denied some right to be heard by the judge. And that is why they are not going by way of appeal, but they are coming by way of statutory right. That means they are coming to quash the decision of the judge. And therefore, because they were denied hearing, they were treated unfairly. This is what we call when Adam. This principle goes back to the days of Adam and Eve, when God came and started calling Adam, and they went to hiding. He gave them a right to head. He gave them a hearing before he drove them out of the Garden of Eden. That is the principle. And therefore, if there is a denial of right to be heard, then the Supreme Court will come in and say, no, what you did was wrong. That is why they are...
Counsel, just before you land, we also get an indication that at 9:30 the hearing will begin, and so we're also anticipating for that. But let me switch back to Dr. Afriyie on the back of this whole conversation. But we also know that Parliament has started to, register some of the elected MPs without MPs in Ablekuma North and Dome-Kwabenya and some other contentious seats. But in case where the EC is unable to recollate results before these two constituencies are gazetted, what is the likely consequences of this?
The two constituencies that is left, I don't think that there will be any much problem, because now the Parliament will have the absolute majority, so it won't be much more problem to affect the two sides. So, but I think that the EC has assured us that they will ensure that the two constituencies will have their representative before the new Parliament is what is inaugurated. So I think that if not, even after that, they can do it. You see, these two constituencies, I don't think that it's much worrying for them not to have a representative before the inauguration. But I think if the issues are being resolved as soon as possible, I think that they can have their representative at any time, but it should be as soon as possible if the stakeholders agree to the procedure that they wish to follow.
And Council, maybe you'd also want to take a bite on that. Should the MPs for Ablekuma North and Dome-Kwabenya, in case the EC is unable to recollate, what would be the legality in this conversation? Because of course they wouldn't have their names gazetted. Hello, Doctor. Hello, Council. Sounds quite far. If you can project for us so we can hear you. We're struggling, but you can proceed. I believe our technical guys will work on that, but you can go on. Unfortunately, Doc, we seem to be losing you. We'll try back again and call you in a jiffy. We're trying to get Dr. Adolfo's view on the back of Parliament saying that it's about to register some elected members of Parliament, and as we know, some of the contentious seats which are still pending, Ablekuma North and Dominic Kwabena, for instance, I beg your pardon, is still in the conversation. But let me go back to Dr. Adolfo. Doc, you were saying something before I switch to council. Dr. Free, I beg your pardon, sir.
Were you talking to me or are you talking to Dr.
Well, if council is back, maybe I'd want him to take that question. But if not, I believe council is back. So council, please take off from where you left off.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I said I was quite amused the way you said if EC is not able to recollate. What the EC is doing is not recollating. The EC is collating its figures to avoid a situation where you have 5 different declarations, like happened in 2020. That's what I'm saying. When some people were saying, the EC is incompetent, it's very slow, Dr. Bawumia has already conceded, why hasn't the EC come out? And I said, if the EC comes out now and get the figures wrong, and later on comes to correct it, they are going to blame the EC. So why are we not allowing the EC to do the calculation probe so that when it comes out and says this is the final figures, we will avoid a situation where we saw in 2020 where people say he came out with 4 or 5 different declarations. The same thing now. The EC has not correlated yet those constituencies. They said when they did the calculation, they were left with some pink sheets. And on the basis of that, they cannot declare anybody to have won. If you want to be very objective, this is what is happening. But of course, when people have interest, one way or the other, nobody speaks for the EC. The whole point is, the EC is saying some of the pink sheets have been destroyed because some people came and vandalized, thinking that once you vandalize, there will be no figures to work with, and then they will be MPs. You see, if we allow that behavior, then we are in dangerous times because tomorrow another person standing for MP will just go and march out to come and vandalize everybody and use brute force to declare himself an MP elect. Do we want to live like that? That, I'm afraid, is dangerous. I think we should protect the EC. We should let the EC do its job to finality. And after the EC finishes, if we are not happy, we take them to court. But where somebody wants
but I mean, counsel, wouldn't that be so late to have that legal battle? Because that would have been over during the after the elections. And just as some of the NDC executives have said, this is a crime scene. In fact, just as the EC some few days ago released a statement saying that recollation is not unprecedented. They cited 2004 experience, and the NDC say it's not even supposed to be. I mean, the CI that the Electoral Commission cited is not what is happening in this particular electoral process. So wouldn't that be so late, a legal battle?
Look, the EC has given us an assurance that they are going to finish very quickly, be in time for us to swear in whoever comes out. So I can't see how we should be anxious or pessimistic that they will not be able to meet the timetable. I don't know, but let's wait and see. They say they will come out very early on or before the date that they are required to be certified, so to speak. And therefore, we should just give them the benefit of doubt, because See, at this stage, nobody has the power. And if you read Article 45, nobody has the power. It's only the Electoral Commission. Article 45 makes the EC the sole determinant of whoever is an MP-elect. So if they say they need more time, they need more time. Look, if by January they haven't got an MP, the EC will make a decision whether it is using or relying on the votes that they have, the collected figures that they have, or they will call for a round of those two constituencies. The EC is the only person who has to decide. And until the EC gazettes you, you don't have the right to be in Parliament. I think that's what I can say for now, except to say that we should not worry too much. I think in the end, this thing will pass. It will just fizzle out like the other temptations that is coming.
But counsel, legally, this contention between, unfortunately, we have lost Dr. Kwame Adofo on lawyer Kwame Adofo on Zoom. We're trying to have a conversation with him again on the parliamentary process amid these disputed constituencies where Parliament says it's in process of gazetting these MPs, and we wanted to take the legal perspective about that earlier. We spoke to Dr. Samuel Afriyie, who is a political scientist and a marketer as well, trying to get his perspective. But in all of this, as I said earlier, at 9:30, the hearing at the Supreme Court will happen, and trust us, we're going to bring you a comprehensive coverage on that one. And we also wanted to find out how should Parliament proceed with the registration of the MPs elect if certain constituencies such as the Dome, Kwabenya and Ablekuma North constituencies are still embroiled with some legal challenges. The EC promised that it is trying. In fact, with Ablekuma North, for instance, there seemed to be a lot of drama over there. The returning officer, ruled in favor of the NPP, and then the NDC. Then we have the deputy returning officer ruling in favor of the NPP, and it really has become quite an interesting character, in that particular constituency. And so, in all of this, Parliament, still has to go on. In fact, the ninth Parliament, which a lot of people have said that is going to be filled with a lot of drama, and we also would want to know how even the swearing in of these MPs would be. Remember that we will be bringing you a live coverage on that hearing, as I stated earlier. It's going to happen exactly at 9:30. We will cross over to the Supreme Court to see exactly how the hearing would be. We're trying to have, once again, to establish legal, constitutional lawyer Kwame Adofo on the back of this conversation again. We also will be engaged again on the phone by Dr. Samuel Afriyie. He is a political analyst and a marketer as well. Quite unfortunate, but I just wanted to read to you some of the press statements that the NDC have released. But another conversation which still is within the camp of the NDC is the but we'll treat that on politics today. But perhaps still with the conversation with the NDC. Okay, I'm told, my producer tells me that lawyer Kwame Adofo is back. Counsel, we lost you when you were making your comments. Welcome back again.
Thank you so much. There's the network.
Yeah, so we lost you, but if you can continue from where you were, you left off, or perhaps you ended that, so I can ask you another one.
Yeah, I think you can ask me another one.
Yes, but again, in terms of legalities, should Parliament proceed with this registration of MPs in certain constituencies, which we know are still embroiled in these illegal challenges? What is the constitutional procedure or protocol in this? Hello, Counsel.
Look, I'm not sure. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the procedure would be because we've never seen it before. But my understanding is you have to be gazetted first before you can go to Parliament. And where there is a contention who has won and who has not won, and EC has not certified either of you, then you cannot go to, there will be no legal basis for you to go to Parliament because you have not been certified by or gazetted by the EC. And therefore, you may not have any legal basis to go to court, to go to Parliament. I've seen and heard people saying, oh, come on the 5th and the 6th of January, whether they like it or not, I will be sworn in or will be sworn in. Yes, but you must be gazetted by the Electoral Commission before you be sworn in. So if you are not gazetted by the Electoral Commission, you will not have any basis to go and ask to be sworn in. Because it will be just like asking an ordinary member ordinary citizen of this country on the street to go to Parliament and ask also to be sworn in. You can't do that. You need to have a ticket, and the ticket can only be issued to you by the Electoral Commission. So I think that will also come to pass. But in terms of the constitutional position of what happens when the EC is not able to finish its job and there's no understanding, we haven't come to this stage before. There's no precedent. Because in all instances, it's always been clear who has won and who has not won. But when there is a disputation as to who has won, then naturally the court has to resolve it first. And if the court hasn't resolved it, then you cannot go and say, look, the initial declaration was made in my favor, so I'm therefore coming to be sworn in. I think that would not find any favor with the law.
Counsel, another conversation that most people have had is the fact that, well, yes, you've said that if the NDC are not so happy with these collation or recollation done by the Electoral Commission, they can go to court, which they have taken the legal perspective. But how can the Electoral Commission also be charged or held accountable if indeed such illegalities has happened?
Well, the court will have to establish that there has been illegalities first. You see, illegality is not a question of somebody sitting in his place or sitting in his office like I'm sitting in my office now, and I'm raising or I'm crying foul that there is an illegality. No, it has to be established by law. And therefore, if we are of the view the Electoral Commission has committed an offense, then that would be a matter of evidence. We have to go to court, establish it by way of evidence, so that the Electoral Commission can be punished. But if you are just shouting off the street and say illegality by the Electoral Commission without substantiating the crime, then in the end, it's becoming just the usual talk. So in answer to your question, if there is an illegality committed or perpetrated by this Electoral Commission, the only way to establish that is by way of going to court. And once we go to court, the court will make a pronouncement on that. And those who are perpetrators of this illegality will have to be punished according to law.
Counsel, we're grateful for your time this morning. We understand that I mean, we appreciate the fact that you engage with us as and when we call you in the conversation. But before I let you go, finally, I just want to take your final thought on this conversation. And just as we said, 9:13, the hearing will begin, and perhaps your final words on this conversation so we can wrap up.
Look, I think let's all be patient. And let's listen to what happens or watch closely what happens. I'm sure the cameras will be allowed in. So we will get an insight as to exactly what the contentions of the parties are. And maybe after today's hearing, you and I will be in a better position to answer them. Sometimes from the exchanges, the question back and forth, answers from the bench, and to the active players, the lawyers, we will have an idea of where the decision or the ruling might go. So let's just be patient. We are left with only 30 minutes left, and the court will sit and hear those matters. Once hearing starts, by the time it's finished, you and I will be in a position to predict the way it will go. But I think so far, by going to court itself is commendable, because they said they were not going to court. And once they've got to court, they have some faith and believe in the court system again. So let's see how it pans out today.
Counsel, once again, we're grateful for your time. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you so much. And Merry Christmas to you and your listeners and your people who hear you.
Thank you once again. That was constitutional lawyer Kwame Adofo. Earlier, we also had Dr. Samuel Afriyie, who is a political scientist and a marketer, on the back of the NDC hearing, which is expected to happen today at 9:30. We will be crossing over as and when you're live and there's any development from the camp. But that's all for our main discussion this morning on ABC in the Morning. Politics Today continues after this break Tuesday.
Hello, good morning. You are welcome to Politics Today with me, Samuel Nyamabo. It's a day after the Boxing Day, the Christmas festivities. I hope yesterday you were able to go out with some friends and family, you were able to have fun and all of that. If you are unable, today is Friday, it's 27th of December. It's still not late. Get your time, go out in your numbers, go and chill, have fun with some friends and families. But before that, let us serve you with some politics. Today, let's talk politics with me. Today, our focus on politics today is an issue that has risen in the quarters of the National Democratic Congress, the political party elect for both the presidential and the parliamentary in the 2024 elections. We know the NDC won with some very big margin in the parliamentary and presidential elections, but the victory has come with some issues even in the early days. For the party in the Greater Accra region, there has been some dispute with some over some appointment. The Greater Accra NDC is in dispute over appointment opportunities. As the General Secretary for the Greater Accra region, the NDC, Theophilus Tete Chai, in a statement called for the constituencies chairpersons to submit names of the party members at the constituency level for onward appointment. His call was, however, rebutted and dismissed by the regional chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Ashimo, who said that whatever the General Secretary or whatever the Secretary of the NDC in the Greater Accra region did was without any consultation with the party executives in the region, and it amounted to nothing. So the public should disregard that. But the public should disregard that. So you would see the statement of Ashimo, as you see there. He says that disregard submission of nominees for appointment at the national level. I have been notified of a letter in circulation indicating submission of party nominees from constituencies for appointment. For appointment. Let me state explicitly that I am not aware of this. So Ashimo is basically saying that he is not aware of what the Secretary of the NDC in the region, Theophilus Tete, has done, and that the rank and file of the party hasn't come into agreement for any constituency to submit a list to the party at the regional level for consideration of any appointment or any other thing in that order. So we should disregard that. But this, like I mentioned, brings into questions the fight for appointment in the party already. However, some political analysts have argued that this will rather cement the party in the region and bring the grassroots along, because if what the secretary of the party, the secretary of the Greater Accra NDC is doing, he's trying to bring the grassroots, because it's a grassroots who voted for the party. As it stands now, they have 27 seats in the Greater Accra region, very unprecedented level for the National Democratic Congress. They have 27 seats, so he's trying to bring the grassroots together by asking them to submit names of viable candidates that they believe can serve in government for the party, either as ministers, deputies, as heads of institutions, as directors, deputy directors, or anything. So people believe that strategy will work for the party, especially as the party wants to cement this unprecedented victory in the region. But others believe that it is not the right way to go, that appointments shouldn't be done in this manner. The appointment should be done at the national level. The national executives should, or the party at the national level should be making those appointments and putting together the names of people that are in good standing that can serve. And people even believe that, as it stands now,
the party even have a list of who is going to serve as what. Because coming into government or coming into this election, they had a campaign team, they had a manifesto team. So if you are not part of the manifesto team, you're not part of the campaign team, it will be hard to see how you will serve in the party or in ministerial positions, because these teams basically are the cornerstone of the party's message. They carry the party message. They understand what the party really want to do when they come into power on January 7th. And people believe that by using these measures, calling people to submit less, it's not the right way to do. But like some analysts have suggested, maybe this is a way the party can use to cement its name, to get the grassroots, to get the backing of all the constituencies that they've won in the Greater Accra region. Like I mentioned, they have unprecedented 27 seats in the Greater Accra region. But the question is, how is it that the secretary of the NDC in the Greater Accra region is able to make this pronouncement, come out with a letter, sign, and release it to the media houses and to the constituencies chairpersons without the knowledge or the indulgence of the regional chairman, Ashimo? That is a question that everyone wants to understand, because you would, if you have followed the elections, you would know that Ashimo has been at the center stage of the party in the Greater Accra region. At the coalition centers, he was moving from one coalition center to the other, making sure that the party secured all the victories that they wanted. At Adenta, when people said that Kuzi was winning, he was in Adenta at the coalition center with Adamu Ramadan, at various coalition centers, even at the Mbattle, the Ablekumanov, Dom Kobenya, and all these areas. He was there, throwing his support for the NDC candidates in the elections, making sure that they had the victory, they got the victory. So if anything of this sort would have come out, it should have his indulgence. So it sends a message of a conflict, a disagreement happening in the party? Or is it a mere lack of consultation, like Ashimo suggested, that the secretary didn't consult him, or he isn't aware of anything, and the rank and file of the party in the region and even at the national level isn't aware of any of that thing? So is it a question of just a lack of consultation from the General Secretary, or is there something that is happening within the party in the Greater Accra region? That is what we want to understand here. We will try to get answers. We've been trying to reach out to the executives of the party in the region, but none have hidden to our call. So we'll try as much as possible to get to understand what really is happening within the Greater Accra region. But the other question also is, if the party in the Greater Accra region is calling for chairpersons and constituency chairmen and constituency executives to submit a list of viable candidates for appointment, what about the other 15 regions? Because the victory for the National Democratic Congress didn't just happen in the Greater Accra region. Yes, Greater Accra came with a very big win for them, 27 seats, over 500,000 vote margin between him and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So there was some very huge margins that the party secured. Regardless, other regions played a very pivotal role for the party in this victory. You look at the regions up north there, they won clean slate they had a clean slate in the Upper West, Upper East region, won the Northern region with 11 seats, won the Savannah region with 6 out of 7. In the Northeast, they had 3 out of 6. All these regions, they made some very impressive wins. In Volta, a very clean sweep for the National Democratic Congress. OT region there, you go to Western region, 15 out of 17 seats. In the Western North region, 8 out of 9 seats. So all the other regions contributed to the victory of the National Democratic Congress. So if the region, the Greater Accra region, are already fighting over appointments. What becomes of the remaining regions? What becomes of them? Those who also supported in whatever way they did for the party to win in this year's elections. This is a question that it should be bothering if you are a supporter of the National Democratic Congress, because this is not what you would want. It's early days yet to be fighting over appointment. I've seen the Deputy Director of Communications for the party, Malik Basintali, saying that this is not a time to even be fighting for positions. I want to be appointed as this. I want this appointment. There's a time to come together and ensure that you deliver on what you promised Ghanaians. Because trust me, Ghanaians voted for you because they wanted change, because they saw that you could do something different from what we are experiencing. So it is not time for the NDC to be fighting for positions yet. In any case, the flag bearer, now president-elect, promised that he will only appoint 60 ministers. His appointment, 60 ministers and deputies, maximum 60. So if you are already fighting, the question is, how many of you will get the 60? Because 27 constituencies in Greater Accra. If you want to certify every person, every constituency that you want in there, if you want to certify them, how many ministers will you get? How many deputies will you get? Because it is 60 ministers and deputy ministers. We have regional ministers in there, and you have the mandatory 19. You have the mandatory 19 cabinet ministers that the Constitution has already provided. Let's not take away that the Constitution has provided ministers that must be part of cabinet. 19 of them. So take 19 out of 60. You are left with some 41 ministers and deputies. 16, if you want to appoint regional ministers, you have 16 regional ministers. Add 16 to 19, you have 35. You are left with 25 ministers. Well, what much of appointment can the party do to, if all the constituencies and regional levels want to ask their members, constituencies to submit lists? I know you would say, or people will say that there are other state institutions that will need appointments, the directors, deputy directors, and all of these things, maybe even DCs, and all of these persons, the metropolitan municipal and district chief executives, they are also there. So perhaps that's what the party wants to do. But the point is it not early days yet that the party that Ghanaians have reposed trust in is already in dispute over appointment. They are already challenging each other, releasing statements left, right, and all of that. So it's a question that we should be worried about. It's a development that we should be worried about, and this is not what the ordinary voter wants to see. The ordinary voter wants to see change from what has become the norm, that when parties win elections or they win elections, they want to pardon, or not even pardon, they want to make sure that everybody is happy. So they just go ahead and do job for the boys, distribute appointment left, right, center, give people's jobs, deputies, this and that, and share the opportunities around for everybody to chop. Because we were part of the campaign, you campaigned for us, we won hugely, we want to make sure that you are happy, we want to repay you for your hard work, so let's give you appointment. It shouldn't be the case. You are here to serve Ghanaians, serve as well, not be fighting over appointment. That is what we want to say. It is one thing, like I mentioned, we want to understand. Perhaps it is a genuine miscommunication that's happening in the party or something. But whatever it is, these are not the right signals that the NDC in the Greater Accra region should be sending to the voters who voted for them. In the Greater Accra region, they have over 1 million votes. So it's not a signal that people really want to see the party doing or sending to its electorate. So the party should be very cautious, tread cautiously, so that they don't step on people's foot. They don't make Ghanaians lose confidence in these early days yet. Because John Dramani Mahama, president-elect, has met a lot of stakeholders since his declaration as president-elect. He's met with the religious leaders, he's met with key stakeholders, you can mention them, even met with candidates in the elections, other presidential candidates in the elections. I remember Alan Kojo Chiramanten visited John Dramani Mahama to submit the Great Transformation Plan, met with other stakeholders to take input, to put together his government a structure that he believes will work in the next 4 years to reset the Ghana that he has promised us. But if the party wants to continue or wants to start in this way, then we are not really going to do any reset. We are just coming to continue where other parties or this government, people felt like it's not the right path. So let's deviate, let's change. Then we are not going to reset. We are rather going to continue what has been the norm for most politicians. Come win elections and share the slot for each other. Make sure that everyone is happy within the party, that in the next 4 years you win, and you hope that you get 8 years, and you know that after 8 years, so Ghanaians will get tired of you. They will get tired of you, and they'll vote you out, and another party can. So we do the 8 years, and all of that. Let's not try and move in that order. Let Ghanaians begin to see that you are changing and you are resetting the Ghana you've promised us with the right steps. Let's see that happening, and let's see that reflecting. So the NDC in the region should come together, in the Greater Accra region should come together and mend their ways. We will try to get to understand what is really happening within the Greater Accra region. We'll try to get the chairman or the secretary of the party in the region, Ashimo or either Theophilus Tete, to understand what really is happening in the Greater Accra region. So that is that for politics today. Today, like I mentioned, we don't want to bother you much with a lot of the hard political issues. You know, it is Christmas. Just a day after the Boxing Day. Yesterday, a lot of people. There was a lot of activities, fun activities out there. Friday on 25th, we had Rapaholic. 24th, there was Bin concert. And today, there are other concerts that will come off. So we don't want to bother you much with a lot of the hard political issues, even though they are still very important, because politics is at the center of everything we do in this country. So we want to understand what really is happening in that circle. But today is 27th, and it's Christmas. We want you to have fun, go out in your numbers, and celebrate, have that cool time with your friends and family, with your loved ones. Let them appreciate you, and let you also appreciate them for this 2024 year, because the year has been a very up and down one. People have had fun, people have enjoyed the year. Some believe that the year didn't go well, but if you are a member of the NDC, this year it has been a very good year. Maybe it didn't start well, but it has actually ended well for you, or it's ending well for you, because you had a very good victory. So go out and celebrate yourselves, enjoy yourselves in these Christmas festivities, but just be cautious so that you don't harm yourself in this celebration. So like I mentioned, that's how much time will buy me on politics today with me, Samuel Inimabu. Will come your way another time. From Monday, we'll still be here with you with other political issues, so do stay tuned. But Eric Melo Chinibua will come and continue with you, and then, like we mentioned, we'll be crossing over to the Supreme Court to pick the live transmission of the Supreme Court hearing or the NDC's application. When the Supreme Court starts the hearing, trust us to bring that to you. But for now, do stay tuned. ABC News, ABC in the Morning continues.
This is where the headlines are probed. Policies scrutinized through an objective lens with an unbiased approach to every discussion. Key in to a series of pulsating conversations with the hard questions.
Why do you still want to run when you have failed?
I haven't. What do you mean by failed?
In-depth analysis of policy proposals.
If it is a temporary program, why do we want to still create another gold reserve exchange program also to address a temporary issue?
If you introduce a temporary measure and you realize that the temporary measure works and is sustainable, you have to rethink whether or not it should just be temporary.
And every agenda and positions intellectually debated to set the record straight.
Look, you still don't answer the question now.
Good.
Question is, if Article 78(1) is anything to go by, your ministers of state largely are supposed to come from the parliament.
Yes.
The law says that not less than 10 and not more than 19. So these are your cabinet, your ministers of state you're going to get. How do you intend to resolve? Have you thought about managing that hurdle?
Absolutely. If I hadn't, I probably would not get on the fray to do this.
On Focus on ABC, we focus on the matter, the personality, and the answer beyond the rhetoric. Focus on ABC shows every Thursday at 7 p.m. only on ABC News Ghana television.
Welcome once again back to the program. It's still ABC in the morning. I am Eric Chinibua. Medogonbai was politics today with my colleague Samuel Nimabo. Quite some educative, perspective in terms of politics and the NDC camp over there. But here we are giving you some interesting vibe at Christmas, and we're bringing you currently an update from the world of entertainment. But this one we call it Happy Hour. So let's bring you Happy Hour after this Tuesday. So today on Happy Hour, we're putting the focus on some festive celebrations that ensued this Christmas. In fact, a lot of activity. Even today, there's a lot of activity still in preparation that I don't know if you're making your way for that. But concerts, major concert also happened. For instance, Sarkodie with Rapperholic. Beyond Control yesterday was being organized by Medical and Shatta Wale. Very packed concert. Again, made in Tadi me, initially I thought it didn't happen because of the outbreak, the cholera outbreak in the Western region, but I'm told that it really happened. Well, congratulations once again to Kofi Kenyatta. Made in Tadi happened, so the concert also transpired. And another concert that transpired, Beam concert. Hey, where my Beam Nation folks at? Whoa, trust me, that also was a very, very interesting, concert. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to return upon my ranting that I was going to go. I was not able to return. And again, Zama Disco by Black Sherif. I'm told that concert as well was very lit, very packed with quite some, interesting, figures who performers who perform. But one thing about this activity or concert I prefer so much, and I think we have to congratulate all event organizers, is the fact that they put so much effort in making sure that the show is very lit. The stage especially was free from occurring any casualty. And in terms of crowd control, so far we have not witnessed any casualty. Maybe after this concert we have some statistics proving whether there was casualty or not. But for now, I think fair enough, it has been quite, But let's bring you some update from some of the content that the news team have piled up for you. Perhaps next year you'll also have to book which concert you'll be wanting to attend. But for now, let's walk you through some of the major concerts this Christmas.